Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kara here with another Infinite Magicraid video, and in today's video I want to talk about must-keep heroes for Tower of Mark here, because what's going to happen for your progress in here is eventually you're going to hit a wall, and that wall is going to start at floor 20, 24, or 28, and the main thing that you're going to need to watch out for is this guy here, because what he does is he applies a massive shield, and pretty much, especially when you get further onto the game, especially on floor 28, you're just not going to be able to break this shield. This unlocks safety device granting self a shield by 20% of max HP for 3 turns. Skill cannot be blocked or stolen. And then he also can't have any debuffs. So when Thar enables safety device, he becomes immune to all debuffs and boosts 5% of the damage dealt by him at the end of the turn. So the big thing is I'm just trying to get you guys aware of this guy and how big of a deal he is, because without him, you're just stuck. And if you're looking here, I don't have any way of being able to remove a shield here. It's because I had Thanatos and I ended up reverting him, but I needed Thanatos. I was actually stuck way earlier than this. I went from I was stuck on floor 20 and then shot up to floor 26 with the characters I still had there because of just how big of a deal it was to not have a shield remover. So I'm going to be going through each color of faction in this game and breaking down the characters you really want to keep, because a lot of these are going to be epic characters, but for some factions they do need legendary or in some cases mythic heroes for this to work. So very important. It's really going to determine how far you can get in Mark Tower, because you're just going to be straight up gated without this. So let's go through here. I think this is a good way to do it. So Red Mark, this is the one I was stuck on until I pulled Thanatos, but there's only a few characters on Red Mark to do this, and most of them, I think all of them, are legend characters, which is just ridiculous. So here's the first one. This is a mythic, even worse. So right here, her A2, 280% defense damage to all enemies, and removes all buffs on them. So that would take care of it. I was almost going to get this character, I think, as my first mythic. I went with Ben Austin, which I think is just the objectively correct choice, but she was a close second, in my opinion. Okay, so the next here, out of the red characters, we have Thanatos here. So Thanatos, this guy in his A2, he's actually really cool. I think he's probably the best one for doing this, because not only does his A2 remove shield and ally protection from a single enemy and then deals 2 stages of damage, but he has this passive here called Life Extortion. And Life Extortion reduces the buff owner's healed effect and shield effect by a certain amount. So not only is he reducing the shield, but when Life Extortion can actually be applied by his ultimate here through the shield, because it's not necessarily a debuff. It's like this special effect that he's putting on, like a unique effect is what the game calls it. So he's applying that through the shield. So you remove the shield or damage through the shield, but in the further you go, you're absolutely going to need to be able to remove it. And then the next shield he puts on is reduced. So you have potential to maybe be able to damage that next shield, especially when you start removing the shield. Then you can apply debuffs, and then you put your HP burns on there, your bleeds or whatever. Then those bleeds or HP burns are going to affect the next shield. So it becomes like a snowball. Once you get that first shield off, you get all your HP burns on there. Then those HP burns help with the shield to maybe make sure to maybe break that shield. So you're not always relying on this shield break here. So then, especially with this being reduced, then it makes it significantly easier to be able to get that snowball rolling. And then let's say those HP burns and some of your damage actually breaks the next shield because it's reduced. Then you get those HP burns on faster. Then you could just save this for when you absolutely need to be able to break the shield and not just have the dots rolling. So I think he's the best for this. It's a short cooldown anyway, so it's really not that bad, but that's why I really like it. Next is going to be Kharid here. He has removes all buffs from the target and inflicts res buff and horrify on them. So that he's another one. I think overall he's not that great of a character, but he can do it. And then lastly, Timmy right here can do it as well, but I believe he needs exclusives. Target as a shield, removes the shield. So he needs exclusive 1 on Timmy to be able to do this. Other than that, I don't know how good that character is. I just know that exclusive 1 version of him can remove the shield. So that is it for the red buffs as far as I'm aware. Blue buffs right here, I was looking through this. Maybe there's one I'm missing here, but the big one is going to be this guy here. And his ultimate, it does say steal. He can't steal, so he's not going to actually take the buff, but it will remove. So he's going to be good for the blue faction here to be able to remove those buffs off the enemy. I was looking through. I don't know if there's anyone else that actually removes buffs. If there's someone else in the blue faction, definitely let us know down in the comments below, because I am blanking on someone else from the blue faction. I can't think of anyone else. And if it's like one of these rare or epic ones, that does not count. Yes, they technically might be able to do that, but I don't think that counts, because the whole point of this is to be able to actually build the character, and cheesing it, in my opinion, I don't think that's a good enough cheese. The character is just going to die. You have to actually put like a weirdly high amount of resources, especially if you're trying to like go up in the higher versions of these. So I don't think having a cheese character like that is actually going to progress that many people. Okay, green side here. Let's look and see who can actually remove buffs here. So the first one going to be E3 Champodite. This guy, E3, removes all buffs from the main target, increases the duration of res buff by 2 turns. Most tier lists are going to have this guy pretty bad, but that is a very clutch thing that he can do. We have Ben Austin on his ultimate here. Removes all buffs from the enemy target, then inflicts res buffs, so he can do it as well. Greta here on her ultimate removes all buffs from a single enemy, so she can do it. You can just also check here with removal. And then lastly, we got Seal here, and he removes shield from the enemy. So if you were part of the Halloween fusion, then, or if you're part of the Halloween event, you could do this. Yeah, so that's another significantly cheaper option. But all these other ones are going to be like legendary or mythic. And then let's see if this guy can do it. Yeah, removes shield. So he just straight up has remove shield. So green side has a ton of options here for being able to remove shield, which is great. And then lastly, we have the force marks. So this guy can do it kinda. I believe you need exclusives. So removes all their attribute buffs, but then exclusive 1 removes all the target's buffs before attacking. So he kind of counts. Don't like the exclusive part of it. This guy's probably one of the best at doing it because I think he does it from, yeah, removes 1 random buff from a single enemy, just right on his auto attack. Like so, and then on his exclusive 1, removes all buffs from the target, increases the HP restoration. Is there another one? Yeah, removes all enemy shields. So he does it on the auto attack and the ultimate. He's like top tier at removing shields. And then apparently, I don't think he can do it. Steals the target's turn meter. Copies 1 layer of buffs on a random. Yeah, so he just copies it. He's just stealing 1 layer of attribute. Yeah, so he can't do it. He just is stealing attribute buffs. Can't do it. This girl can do it, but I believe, yeah, just removes all buffs. She gets really good with the exclusive 1. This is one of the better characters in my opinion. But I think she really needs to have exclusives to be good, but she gets really good with the exclusives here. So removes all buffs there. And for some reason, Gunner is not on here. Gunner can do it. This is like what I mean by those cheese characters that can do it. Removes 2 layers of buffs randomly. Like, I'm not going to level this character. They're just going to die anyway. We need someone that can actually survive a couple of hits. Not just remove the buffs and then call it a day. Maybe if you want to cheese out like stage 20 or stage 24, and then the damage will carry from there with like your HP burns and stuff. But I don't think that's a reliable strategy. And then I believe he can do it too. 2 other random enemies. I want to say one of his moves can do it. Yeah, steals all buffs from all enemies. So his third version, probably the most complicated character in the game. Once you kind of get him, he's not too crazy, but at least the most text I've seen out of any character in this game. He can do it. And then also Gunner can do it. I don't know why they don't have Gunner here. Let me find Gunner. Yeah, so removes all shields right here. So he can do it as well. That's who I use to be able to kind of push up here in the yellow side. So that's pretty much it when it comes to this. Does he do it? For some reason I was thinking he can do it. Oh, this steel circuit too. Okay, whatever. All right, but that's pretty much it when it comes to this. This is a really important concept. Definitely save these characters. If you have them, you might not necessarily build them immediately. Some factions have it way easier than the others. I'd say probably the big one is Green Faction because they have an epic that does it. They have 2 epics that do it. One takes exclusive 3, but Seal just has it immediately. So, and everyone got them guaranteed if you were playing a few months ago. So that's going to be it for this video here. Let me know in the comments below if there's any of them I missed. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.